Hey there, thanks for joining us at the Rabbit Hole of Research, where you'll learn a few facts that you can impress your friends with at a party. Hey, welcome back to the Rabbit Hole of Research. This is the mini episode of episode 27, the Utopia Dystopia episode. We had the guest Tina on with us.
I feel like this is one of our darker episodes in a minute.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was a serious topic. I don't know. I thought it was good, but yeah.
Oh, it was
interesting.
Fun, but it was just like, given our current climate, it's feeling more likely.
Right. Well, it's like we don't need to do an episode about dystopia. We just, turn on the TV and just live it.
Yeah, as we get into this, you got me, Joe, here. We got Georgia, who was just there, and then we got Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
Since we recorded that episode, there's been, of course, the fires in LA. Just horrific. But it makes it even more chilling because in the parable, The Sower, written by Octavia Butler that we talked about, that's one of the main things is the fires that are raging in LA. Of course, water is completely scarce. And people are like killing each other over water and so forth.
Not
in the book,
real life.
In the book, and the year that the book is set, of course, is 2024. So it's just really chilling just to think about some of the connections between that work of fiction that was written in the 90s and what's happening right now.
Oh yeah, it just gives you the goosebumps.
I know. And, of course, Octavia Butler was just brilliant and, my favorite authors. Just to think about that insight, she wrote a lot about climate disaster and political unrest and all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm recommending to read that right now, because it might be a little too much.
Yeah, it's a good read, but yes.
It is so good, but...
Maybe wait a year.
We did get some feedback from a couple folks. One was from Tina, who was our guest. She had wrote and said she forgot to mention the idea of dystopia, utopia crosses through genre. We talked a lot about books and movies, and she mentioned that Michael Jackson, on his posthumous album, Escape, he had a song on there, Place with No Name, which was about his version of a utopia. And this was a rework, and the original song was called A Horse with No Name, which came out in 1972 by the band America. And Michael Jackson got permission to do this song. So this was like that album where they found these unrecorded tracks and put it together. So I thought that was interesting that we didn't really talk about music and song, but elements of utopia and dystopia, it can be found in that media.
Yeah, that happens pretty often. And
I think a lot of times we don't talk about music, and it is something that probably every topic that we talk about could be looked at through music.
That's what we need to do. We need to have more music references. DC and music.
Right. Maybe we can get Jordan back as a guest again.
We had Bruce from Substack. He had mentioned Battlestar Galactica, the 2005 series reboot. I had not seen that one, but I'd seen the original one, which was in the late 70s, where you had robots created by humans and then they were eradicating the last remaining humans. So you had this whole little utopia and then turned into a dystopia. Did you see that series?
Yeah, that happens. It's been a long time, but yeah.
So that was
I watched that when I was younger.
And Alex on YouTube, they had mentioned one of their favorite books, The Secret of Peace by T.A. Hernandez. And Arcane was the other one that they had mentioned, and we're watching the second season right now. So I agree that does have a lot of both the utopic kind of structure, but then now this dystopic. It's that idea where one person's utopia is another's dystopia. So that was playing out in there, and you can see both sides of the coin.
I think what's interesting is when you say one person's utopia, another's dystopian, I would say it typically is maybe a very small group that it's a utopia, and then for the most part, everyone else it's a dystopia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like a one-to-one kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah, you get those larger groups of it, and it just doesn't work for
Right.
everyone.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always like this one small group that takes power over this,
Everyone else.
Yeah.
That's usually right. That's the way it
Yeah.
seems to work. So yeah. And so have you guys heard of meliorism? Meliorism. Meliorism.
No.
It's a belief that the world can be made better by human effort. It was popularized in 1877 by George Eliot, but really that was a pen name of Mary Ann Evans. And what she pointed out was that we can improve the problems of the human condition day by day, year by year, towards better. And so that was, she had put out this kind of philosophy. And then you still have like modern thinkers and philosophers. Max Roser, he constructed 3 contradictory statements that seem like they can't all be true, but are: the world is much better, the world is awful, the world can be much better.
I
thought
mean,
that was an interesting principle.
I can see how they're contradictory, but like also work. They can't all be true, but they are at the same time. Yeah.
Yep.
You get that balance of, well, we've wrecked everything, but it's getting better.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. It is awful, but we're going to make it better. And that came up in some of my post-episode research and still thinking about the topic. I thought it was interesting. We keep going here. We keep digging. We don't stop.
I mean, the only way to go is up, right?
That is true. Yes.
Or keep
Or down.
Yeah.
So
Or just keep
you can
mo-
only dig so far down.
You go down and through, maybe. Down
Well,
and through, baby.
if you're doing a rabbit hole.
Right.
I like to go all the way through.
We can't go over it. We can't go under it. We gotta go through it.
It's like, what are you talking about?
You guys, you've heard of we're going on a bear hunt, haven't you?
Can't say that I
Yeah.
have.
Thank you, Nick.
I know that one.
Thank you, Nick.
You're
I don't-
welcome.
I don't know what you're
At
talking
least I didn't sing.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
was hoping you were going to.
Yeah, right.
No. So
Then the other thing I wanted to mention again was the movie Cherry 2000. You guys give me a hard time on the episode, but I just want people to know it's a 1988 science fiction movie that has very dystopic feel to it. So just wanted to.
and you're
throw it out.
recommending it.
I mean, it's 88, so, and I haven't watched it in a while, so I'm not going to give it a strong rabbit hole of research recommendation, but I think it would be
Watch
probably a
with
fun
your-
watch. Yes.
With your own risk, at your own
Let
risk.
me know what you think about it. But yeah, that's what I had from the last episode from the fans out there that have been responding. How about y'all? What you been up to? Anything?
Nothing really. Been playing some games lately. Ellie and I have been playing Epic Mickey,
Yeah.
which has been fun. It's in the dystopia realm because it ends up spilling magic ink all over Merlin's, and that's where you find Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, which was Walt Disney's first creation that ended up just falling through and never really coming past a certain time where he ended up getting replaced by Mickey, and it's been cool to playing through that.
I thought you were going to say you were digging up the bodies that Tina had mentioned on the episode that's buried under
Listen, we don't talk
Disney.
about that. We don't talk about those. We're trying to get sponsored by them, Joe.
I'm just saying. I don't know where you were going. So,
We don't talk about Bruno. No,
okay.
no.
Here we go.
Georgia, you're gonna get us. We're not gonna have this episode air. They're gonna shut us down.
Yes. You're done.
So I just finished the book, The Sea of Tranquility.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry, I cannot. I know her name. I want to say Emily.
The same author that wrote
Station
Station 11,
11,
right.
which
Mhm.
is a new favorite and also dystopian. And I thought Sea of Tranquility was really good. It spanned a really long time period, and it had time travel, mentions of the simulation hypothesis.
Yeah, all
Oh,
episodes. So that was
yeah.
Emily St. John Mandel.
Yes. So I would say check it out.
Check it out. That's a rabbit hole. Check it out. We should have some rating system to give people a lot of stuff.
Get in that hole.
So we
That's
did.
gonna be the number.
We could give it like so many holes.
So then I watched it.
How many
That's
holes
three.
are on the system?
This is 4 out of 5 holes. So anyway,
yeah.
go ahead.
I snuck in and watched Avengers: Age of Ultron. It came up in the episode, so I didn't watch that. And the idea
That was
of
a
what
big sacrifice for you
Ultron had
to watch that again.
Yeah, I hadn't watched it in some years, so it was like cool watching it again and checking it out. But yeah, you have that vision where it was this utopic vision and idea that Tony Stark had, and then Ultron took it to that next level and said, well, to get there, we have to, destroy all of people and start over.
I kind of feel that way sometimes.
It's always, let's just get rid of all the people. And
That would just make
we'll
it
just be
easier.
good, yeah.
I feel like it's that kind of thing. Like, oh, if it wasn't for people, come on. This is why we can't have nice things,
Yeah, but then it was cool because then at the end with Vision, that whole thing when he was talking to Ultron before he killed the last Ultron kind of embodiment, that was what he was saying, that humans are wonderful and we are who we are. And like he said, things, it was this positive little spin that things,
we may be
aren't-
messy, but
yeah, and beautiful things doesn't mean that they have to last forever. It was interesting. But yeah, it's worth a watch if you haven't seen it. Once again, you get...
I've yet to get to the show that Alex had also mentioned, Skeleton Crew.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I know
haven't
that.
seen that. Yeah, no, I haven't either. Yeah, Alex did mention
what is that?
that one. It's a Star Wars spinoff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard, actually, a coworker said they really liked it.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Who's in that one?
Isn't it Judd Law?
Yep, that's what I thought it was.
Okay, yeah. All right, well, I think that's it
So yeah,
for
I'll
me.
get to that soon.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I got. You guys, anything?
One last thing on that, I do think that a lot of video games do end up using the Utopia Dystopia as a jumping off point for going back through my collection of everything. It's
Right.
like the amount of them that are like either trying to achieve that or are in the dystopia realm because of it. Like it's a fairly good amount. Well, one of my favorite series was BioShock, and that's one that ends up dealing with the repercussions of it all.
Yeah, yep. I remember you mentioning that. I can see it. It's a good, especially the subversive dystopia storylines where you're rising up against these utopic ideals, which are actually repressive and,
I can see that being a good
Yeah.
basis for games.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And like Wolfenstein, they're
Yes.
going against the Nazis, which was like so much fun.
Yes, I love Wolfenstein.
Yeah,
That's one of
and
my
that one
favorites.
is where it's one of those dystopian futures where like the past was changed and absolutely fantastic.
I agree. Go play it.
It's
Yeah,
5
check it out.
holes.
5 holes.
All five
We
holes.
got work on that.
That's our rating system.
Well, let's on that note. You've got Joe. We've got
We
Georgia.
got Nick.
We've got Nick. And we've
Going down another hole.
went down some mini holes here.
Yep.
Some utopic holes.
Bye.
Stay safe out there. Love y'all.